Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the living world of shenanigans rage across New York. In today's scene, we are seeing the Sept a buzz of activity because war is upon us, after all, and battle is looming closer and closer still. As a result, most likely we can assume that the Den Father has forgone the usual morning training in favor of helping to brace his crop of cubs for the battle to come. This will involve talking to those that need certain sorts of, moral support, and probably approaching that moral support with a sack of hammers. And then those who are more prepared or seem more braced for the inevitable conclusion of the day are sent off in pairs and trios to supplement the patrols of the Guardians. After all, there's no telling if we are setting the battlefield or they will decide to come to us. So, ergo, the two Lupus, who, let's face it, are pretty at peace with whatever happens to come upon them, are likely the first pair sent off to supplement one of the patrol routes. This is something of an awkward arrangement, if only because the two Lupus cubs have somehow, to date, managed not yet to even once interact directly together. And thus, as they're sent off, Stoneclaw will effect the shift into the Umbra, pause in her all of her looming glory to await her little buddy, and very potentially simply start striding.
Snowpaws arrives roughly at the time that Olaf assigned them to, and when she sees Snowclaw, she wags her tail a bit. She seems very relieved to have not been paired with one of those petulant Homid cubs that seem to like to get involved in things. She will approach. You know which route we're taking.
And Stoneclaw will pause, and the wag is definitely a good sign. So she will pause and kind of duck her head in the slightest and probably match tail height with the smaller wolf, and will jerk her muzzle in the appropriate direction. She has learned to point, after all. We go this way. Olaf route.
Okay, good.
Yes.
And Snowpaws will start walking. She'll walk beside Stoneclaw. Probably a good sign considering her observed behavior with the other Homid cubs who she just utterly dominates all the time. Except for Gabriel, who has a special little place in her heart.
Well, thankfully, there's even Stoneclaw has her certain reservations when it comes to the Homid-born, and there's just none of that to even worry about. So it's with kind of a sense of ease and almost a sense of relief that she's just casually takes up the stride alongside the smaller, darker Lupus, and pops her head up, keeps her ears on a swivel, kind of not so much panting, but constantly catching bits of air, constantly tasting it, trying to decide if anything is changed besides, well, the logical results of the chaos around the Sept.
Snowpaws will keep her nose to the air, and she very visibly sniffs about in all directions, occasionally pausing to investigate small bits of anomalies that may turn out to just be trash left by humans or some other such thing. Make that Homid born, actually. And, yeah. After a while, she sort of relaxes a bit with her new patrol partner.
And Stoneclaw likewise just sort of eases into what's now becoming something rhythmic rather than something where she's constantly glancing aside to see if someone feels the need to touch her for some reason, because they do that a lot. And having to worry about holding some prolonged and unnecessary conversation. But she will glance aside and perhaps notably take a moment to kind of assess with a slow intake of breath and a proper glance over the smaller wolf. Just her overall composition, her readiness, as it were, physically, for the fact that they're going to have to fight. I wouldn't even make you perception alertness it. It's pretty clear that she is assessing her smaller companion.
Snowpaws appears just as ready as any wolf prepared to hunt is. She glances over at Stoneclaw when she notices her looking her over. We fight soon.
She'll probably affect a very faint tilt of head initially, just to kind of lighten that staring at, and turn her head forward again. Yes, big fight.
Are you ready for big fight?
Have never had a big fight. Always small fight. Just two of us.
You are a big wolf, and we can get bigger. Will be good
Yes.
fight.
Yes. We will win.
Yes.
We are strong and big.
Snowpaws wags her tail. Yes.
She finally starts, like, idly wagging her tail as well. Just have to remember now to look behind me.
Yes.
Hmm. Do you think it will be like a hunt where many of us, you know what, I don't know why I'm doing the voice, because she can use lupus speak, so she doesn't have to be clunky. So considering they have wolf talk or wolf speak as an option, she'll it becomes suddenly a lot more lot more coherent. And she actually seems to pause, having been using Guru speak this entire time, and with a more brisk wag of her tail, just kind of shifts into the more natural conversation of wolves, posturing, maybe some mild vocalizations, but mostly just wolf speak. Do you think this will be like a hunt where many of us are using tactics against them? Will they use the same hunting pack tactics against us?
We're all wolves. I remember back home when another wolf or group of wolves wandered into our territory and we would fight. Maybe it's like that.
You have fought in a pack before?
Yes.
Against others?
Yes. Sometimes with lots of humans around, lots of humans building their big scabs and scars, there is nowhere for wolves to go. We end up smashed together in tiny territories and we have to fight.
Huh. These are things I wish I knew better. But I only know how to fight a single opponent. I do not lose, but it is not the same.
Snowpaws looks curious and kind of tilts her head. Why?
Why only one?
Yes.
Hmm. That is all they wanted me to fight. So that is all they put in the cage. If they put in
Snowpaws,
more than one, they were very small.
Snowpaws kind of like flinches a bit at the mention of the cage. Who were they?
People. Humans. Two-leggers.
Snowpaws is not triggered by this conversation.
Considering the gross triggering she got last night, she's probably still drained enough that she's not gonna like go into a freak out over it.
Snowpaws does look very sad. The humans make you fight other wolves?
And she kind of pauses a moment and actually pauses their stride to pick up one of her paws and just kind of glances down at it. She is notably covered in scarring, especially where the fur is thin, like on the face or around the legs and the paws. In the body and the thicker fur, it's harder to see because they can only get so deep. These were only normal dogs and normal wolves, but it's definitely there, and there's still a thick ring of missing fur around the neck from the chain that is thankfully no longer present. That is bare. And so she pauses and kind of glances at her own leg briefly and says, I'm sorry, I forgot what the question was. Shit. Got too caught up in narration.
She asked if the humans made you fight other wolves.
Yes. They had my litter mates. They had others. Some big, some small. Some near wolves. Some not wolves. But if you win the fight, you eat.
Snowpaws seems extremely offended by this notion. They make you fight other wolves to survive.
Yes. If you did not fight when I was little, if you did not fight, they would put in the sticks, the biting sticks.
They make us do that too, but indirectly. They took away our home, but they did not imprison us until later. Snowpaws looks extremely sympathetic. Those humans, very evil, very of the worm.
Very of the worm. Yes. They seem surprised here, the Hamids, that I do not like being touched, that I do not trust them until I see that they can stand on four legs.
The Hamids understand nothing. They are foolish. They think they are right. They do not understand what we go through.
They are like magpies, say so much. They say so many things that don't need to be said, but they don't say what is important.
Yes, their Hamid mind justifies horrible actions, makes them think they are right when they defend their families, when they hurt all of us and they hurt Gaia.
I have not seen those things. I have only seen here and the cages. And before that, the den. The one unicorn spoon seemed, he talks very much, seemed surprised that I was happy here. But why could I not be happy? There is grass to roll in, there is food.
Yes, is much better than human cages. I was in one too before little brother Katori saved me. It was Bigger cage. Many wolves. No family, no pack, though.
She puts her head on a bit of a swivel at that. Big cage? How? I have never seen a big cage, except the one that they would put two of us in.
Big cage had a bunch of us. Too many for a tiny territory, though. None of us family, all of us scared. We fight, and then they poke us with things that hurt us and make us sleep when we fight too much. We could not act as a family because to live we had to always be on guard. And humans and their horrible little monkey children, they would stare at us, they would point, they would laugh. Some of them would throw things at us.
She takes a moment to kind of, with her ears kind of twitching, she's obviously processing. She's still walking, but her gaze gets a little distance as she considers her own history, her own experience, and tries to come up with something similar. And in the end, especially with the pointing and the loud noises and throwing things, she finally seems to find a common note there and goes, "Yes, I remember the watching. I remember yelling, throwing things when we fought. Lots of yelling."
Lots of pain, lots of suffering, all for human amusement.
And she essentially knits her brow on that and again goes deep into processing amusement. I
Yes,
did not understand why.
it is the worm infecting their prey minds, making them think they are in control of everything. When they are in control, they find pleasure in hurting others, especially those of Gaia who are not humans. Though little brother told me, even they hurt each other like that.
Why?
Was told when a bunch of humans came here, they hurt and captured the humans already living here, forced them to live in basically big cages. Don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. I hear the color or some other strange reason.
There will be another long process of deep thought on this, followed by just a full shake of body, as if to shake off the nasty, clinging thoughts. They do not make sense. We fight for food and territory to defend our pack. I don't understand cages.
Is the worm using Weaver to control us? To control whatever it can and poison Gaia?
Mm.
In the Hamid-borns, they do not see. They are blind because they are winning.
She cants her head aside. What will they see when we are winning?
When we are winning, The scars are healed over. There is no weaver construct. There is no cage. There is Gaia, there is nature. Humans live as all animals. They are prey, but they respect their place in Gaia, and we respect them for it. But I think they are too far gone.
Can they live without their boxes?
I was told a long, long time ago that they did, and that was how it should be.
Hmm.
Before everything grew corrupt, when the weaver and worm sunk their teeth in.
Hmm. They are not like animals anymore.
No,
Hmm.
they have forgotten Gaia, and so Gaia will forget them.
I have only seen one who does not sleep in a box. I wonder how many would live without their boxes.
Perhaps only the strong, only the savable.
That is how it should be. The strongest live, the strongest breed.
Yes, it means stronger prey for the predators and stronger predators.
Yes,
Everybody is better because everybody is stronger.
yes. How do we get rid of the scars? How do you heal scars?
Snowpaws lowers her ears a bit. I do not know.
I mean, even she, and especially covered in as many physical scars as she has, seems kind of taken back with the idea of being able to heal what essentially equates to a permanent wound or the permanent mark of a wound. She ends up, again, giving her head a shake. This fight. Do you have a pack for this fight? Do we have a pack for this fight?
No. I was going to ask little brother Katori, for his pack is strong and has many lupus.
Hmm.
Maybe we can go ask together?
Yes, maybe. I had thought it would be good to fight with all his ash. He is a very good fighter. But I have only seen him fight one on one.
I have not seen him fight.
You
I
played
have gone on
Punch Face.
Punch Face?
Yes. It is a way to spar, a way to test strength without killing. Our teeth are too sharp for Hamidborn. Our jaws are too strong. But Hamid's, they are weak enough. If you take their shape and you swing your fists, it does not kill.
Hmm. I do not like taking their shape.
I do not, but Alpha has said that eventually we will have to be able to walk through the scar. We will have to be able to pass among them without them knowing that we are wolves. And so I do practices. I can walk now better with only 2 legs. I can pass through them. I do not like it, and they do not like it, but they do not stop me. And the ones that wear blue, the ones with the shiny pieces of metal on their chests, do not come and do not talk to me. And this is good.
Yes. Too much time in their shape, and the prey mind starts to take you, though. I spend little time in Hamid. I went with Olaf. He took me on his iron horse, and we went to a place full of screaming metal that humans said were fun.
Screaming metal.
Yes.
How is screaming metal fun?
No Pause shakes her head.
Hmm. I walked once with hotfix, but the humans, they were too scared. We had to come back from the city, from the scar. Other than that, I do practice with Dusk to train the human shape so that I can be strong even on 2 legs. And in exchange, he is learning. He is runty, but he takes our shape more. He's learning to hunt. He's learning, maybe, to eat properly so that he will get bigger and stronger.
Good. Maybe there are still some Hamid-born we can teach. Maybe some of them do learn to respect Gaia,
Maybe.
but I am not too hopeful.
I do not know. I thought that Dusk was like my smallest littermate, very runty, very weak. And I thought that I would teach him to be a wolf. And then last night, while the moon was high, I went with him to keep him safe. And he became different. I did not like it.
Different how?
There was a larger shadow than him. There was a thing that he spoke to. He said it was like his family. But his family, the spirits, they make noises, make faces, do silly things. This one this one did not just chatter and make faces. This one Hmm. It appeared, and he went to it. He went to speak to it like it was his family. And when I tried to follow, I remembered. I remembered the burning smell. I remembered Mother going cold. I remembered the hands. But it was worse. In dusk, he stood with this thing, and he still spoke to it. It did leave. I do not know if he did it, but
The Hamid-born's family is in spirits, not in humans.
yes, Dusk is not like the humans. He's not like the ones born in the scar. He's different. I had thought he would be easier to teach, to be strong. But I don't understand what happened. It wasn't like a lie. A lie is saying something that is not true, but it felt wrong. And I do not know if that was because that is the way his family is. I do not know if that is the way he is.
That is strange. Maybe it is better than being born in the scar, though.
Yes,
He is, maybe, free from the corruption of his ancestors.
I think so. I hope so. It was the Hamid born, the ones born in the scars, that taught me what a lie was. Dusk has not done that.
That says a lot about them, doesn't it?
Yes. I still do not understand the purpose of a lie.
Nor do I, only that it is important to them.
Mm. And she may very well fall silent again for a bit of a while. And finally go back to a subject she likes much better. Because fighting is something she knows, something she's comfortable with. So she'll glance aside. These Guru that we fight,
Mm.
how many do you think there are? Ooh. Well, that was very nice of you, computer, but you scared the shit out of me.
I do not know.
I hear there will be very many.
Yes, maybe many packs.
Yes.
But we have many packs too. And we have strong packs.
I hope that this is just fighting. Every time that I have come thinking that we would fight, there was talking. But fighting, that will be easier. That will be better. I'll kill many.
The Hamids like to talk. I think it is because sometimes they are afraid to fight.
They are very squishy.
Yes.
Runty. No fur, no teeth. Deaf
Even
ears.
in even in lupus and in hispa, they are clumsy. They do not know being a wolf like we do.
No, they do not. She ponders this briefly. And then, well, it's not a grin. She kind of gives her muzzle slightly, lets her tongue poke out for half a second. I bet that I kill more than the Hamid cubs. Many more.
Snowpaws nods. We both kill more than the Hamid cubs.
And finally, in a merrier mood over the idea of looking forward to a fight, she kind of puffs herself up the slightest bit. It's obviously facetious. It's a brief bit of playful posturing, but she puffs herself up a bit. I kill more than you.
Are you challenging me? Snowpaws puffs up too.
All things considered, she finally the sense of ease from earlier in the walk comes back. She's kind of relaxed into the puppyish sway of tail, a slight swagger of step. Yes.
We will do a challenge. Whoever kills more of our enemies wins the challenge.
I like this challenge.
If we kill the same amount, whoever kills first wins.
Yes.
And Snowpaws, she kind of bounces around, like, first on her hind legs and then, like, her front, like a very excited.
She like bounds.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Stillclaw doesn't seem nearly as agile as that. She definitely keeps her feet almost always at least one on the ground, but there's a bit of kind of playful prancing and whatnot. Yes, I will kill many, many. I will kill the most.
Snowpaws lolls her tongue out and sticks it out at Stoneclaw. And he will continue the patrol in much, much higher spirits.
This is definitely the best note to end on, as the two of them go from a relaxed patrol to far, far too serious thought, and finally back around to playful challenges over murder, as is only appropriate. And unless you have more you would like to do, I think I'll close it there.
Sounds good.
With murder bets. So, with this challenge of who can impart the most murder, we will say thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, our periodic watcher, for watching. And I will see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.